Hello everyone, my name is Joy. With me are my friends Anxiety, Anger, and Disgust. Today, we're going to play the game mode Escape Evil Stepdad.
Guys, did you hear what he said to our boy Tim? I'm really scared. What if this evil stepdad does something bad to us?
What does that jerk think he's doing? All right, we're not wasting any time. The window! We can escape through the window. We're not going to let this old man boss us around.
Great, we've been spotted. That guy is so annoying. So what's the plan now?
I think we can get out through the next window. Yes, definitely. Let's go. We'll make it out. Everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so Tim can defeat the evil stepdad. Also, comment down below which mode we should play next.
Joy, how can you stay so calm in a situation like this? It's really, really scary. I can't even think about what would happen if Tim falls or gets caught by the stepdad. I'm so scared.
Wow, look at those huge saws. It's pretty creepy for sure. But hey, don't worry everyone. We're going to kick that old man's butt. And as for the other obstacles, Tim's a smart kid. He'll manage to get through this and escape.
Oh no, this is terrible, dangerous, and gross. Don't we have any other options for escape? Why is it always lava, saws, and knives?
All right, if that's our only escape plan, then we don't have much choice. But honestly, it's not that bad. Look around. Everything's actually kind of friendly, don't you think?
Oh no! It's the evil stepdad! I get so scared when he's around and watching us. We need to sneak past him as quietly and carefully as possible, but it's so terrifying.
I'm about to explode with anger. What does he want from us? Why is he staring at Tim? Stupid evil stepdad.
It stinks. Ugh, how badly he smells. Does this guy even know what a shower is? He clearly doesn't practice hygiene at all.
Guys, I think we need to hurry and escape through that ventilation. The evil stepdad is nearby and he might catch us. Tim, please hurry,
Oh no, it's so cramped here. I'm scared. Why do we always have to crawl through ventilation? Ah! The evil stepdad is so close to Tim. Let's hurry. I'm really terrified.
If it weren't for this grate, I'd definitely show him my strength. Go, Tim. Move forward and don't look back. We need to escape from this damn home prison.
Oh God, these huge lawnmowers. This is terrifying. They're so loud and stinky, I can't stand them. When are we ever gonna get out of here?
Lawnmowers! I think this isn't the toughest challenge for Tim. He'll manage it. Guys, I think this is a great moment to share a couple of interesting stories with our viewers. So, let's see if you can hit that like button and subscribe in 5 seconds. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Did you make it? If not, I'm giving you another 5 seconds.
Joy, I think everyone has managed to do it. It's time to move on to the stories.
We love being emotions for Tim. Once, while walking through the forest, he stumbled upon an old box decorated with strange symbols. Tim was ecstatic when he discovered it was magical and could grant wishes. The box was special. It could only grant wishes that helped others. Tim immediately decided to use it to make the world a better place.
Of course, I was a bit worried. Powerful things like a magical box can be dangerous if used incorrectly. Tim started small. He wished for his friend Jack, who was sick, to get better. And believe it or not, Jack did get better. Tim was thrilled, but I couldn't shake my anxiety. What if the wishes had side effects?
I was a bit annoyed that Tim didn't first check how the box worked. He was so excited about helping others that he didn't think about the consequences. But when we saw Jack healthy and happy, my anger subsided. Tim used the box with good intentions, and that was important. I hoped he'd be wise and not wish for something that could cause problems.
When Tim began using the box for more significant changes, like helping the local animal shelter, I felt a twinge of unease. He had good intentions, but the box looked old and a bit creepy. I couldn't shake the feeling that something might go wrong. But all of Tim's wishes came true exactly as he intended, which gave us all hope.
Each new wish Tim made brought joy and relief to those around him. He wished for new swings and slides in the park, and soon the city authorities installed new equipment. Tim also helped his family and neighbors, and even organized aid for those in need. The box was a real miracle, but most importantly, Tim learned the value of helping others and being kind.
Still, I continued to worry. How long would the box work? And what would happen if Tim wished for something wrong or selfish? I knew Tim was a good boy, but the box's power was too great to underestimate. I hoped Tim would be careful and wise with his wishes.
It sometimes frustrated me when Tim faced difficulties or when people didn't understand his good intentions. He tried so hard to help, but some people just didn't see how much he was doing for everyone. It wasn't fair, but I was proud of how Tim handled these situations. He didn't give up and continued to do good.
The box, though it brought much good, still seemed a bit strange and unsettling to me. But over time, I learned to accept it as part of our lives. The main thing was that Tim used it for good deeds and learned along the way. We all understood that the box wasn't just a magical object, but a tool that helped Tim and others become better.
In the end, Tim learned that true magic wasn't in the box, but in his own good deeds and actions. Even without magical help, he could bring joy and relief to others simply by being attentive and caring. The box disappeared as suddenly as it had appeared, leaving behind not only good deeds but valuable lessons that Tim would remember for a lifetime. We were happy to be part of this amazing story and to see how our Tim grew and became kinder and wiser. Today is a big day in Tim's head. His parents gave him a brand new phone and Tim is over the moon with happiness. He had been dreaming about this for a long time and now he finally got such an amazing gift. Tim immediately started setting up the phone, downloading games and apps. We all felt his joy and excitement. It was contagious.
On the other hand, I was a bit worried. New phones are so fragile, and Tim can sometimes be a bit careless. I kept reminding him to put on a protective case and screen cover to avoid breaking the phone. And of course, there's the internet and social media. What if he gets into some unpleasant situation?
When Tim started telling his friends about the new phone, I felt a slight irritation. Some kids immediately started feeling jealous, and one even joked that Tim would soon become addicted to the phone. That made me angry. Tim deserved this gift, and it's not his fault that not everyone has such things. I wanted his friends to be happy for him, not tease him.
A particularly unpleasant moment was when Tim started watching a lot of videos online. Some of them were frankly boring and pointless. I felt disgusted that he was wasting so much time on nonsense. I tried to hint to Tim that it would be better to use the phone for something useful or interesting, like learning something new or connecting with friends.
But overall, there was a lot of joy. Tim found many useful apps online that helped him learn and grow. He even started trying to program simple games. It was so great to see how the new phone opened up new opportunities and hobbies for him.
Of course, I continued to worry a bit about the time he spent on the phone. I tried to remind him that it's important not to forget about real life and friends, as well as studying. We all work together to find a balance between fun and useful activities.
And when Tim started sharing useful knowledge and interesting discoveries with his friends, I felt proud. He wasn't just enjoying his new phone, but also using it to help others and share joy. This was a real example of how technology can be used for good.
Sometimes I was still concerned that Tim might get too absorbed in something not very useful. But I was glad that he became more mindful and started choosing quality content. It was important to see that he wasn't just consuming information, but also learning to critically evaluate it.
In the end, the new phone became not just a gadget for Tim, but a tool for self-expression and self-development. We were all happy that we could help him find the right path and learn to use technology wisely and joyfully.
Guys, write in the comments how you like the stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Also, to not miss new videos, click the bell icon.
Guys, we're almost there. If we defeat evil Stepdad, we can return home. We have to believe in ourselves and each other.
Yes, enthusiasm alone isn't enough. This evil Stepdad has been getting in our way for too long. We need to act quickly and decisively.
His laugh is so annoying and he smells awful. I hope we can handle this without too much trouble.
Oh no, what if we can't beat him? He's so strong and cunning. Do we have a backup plan?
Don't worry, anxiety. We have a plan, and we're ready. We're all different, but that's our strength. Anger, you can distract him with your intensity. Disgust, use your sense of smell to find his weak spot. And anxiety and I will support you and keep an eye on the situation.
Great, I'm ready to get angry and end this for good.
Of course! Together we will win! Let's show the evil stepfather that he picked the wrong team to mess with.
Yes! We did it! We defeated the old evil stepfather. He got what he deserved. Well done, team. To our viewers, thank you for watching. Hit the like button and subscribe. Goodbye, everyone.
Hey everyone, guys, how did we end up here? Let's get out of this mode together.
That's right. Guys, help us escape from here by hitting the like button, subscribing, and we'll definitely make it out.
I'm about to punch him. Why the heck did they lock us up here? Let's get out of here, subscribers. Help Tim escape from this place.
It smells terrible in here. How about escaping through the ventilation?
Yes, Tim knows what he's doing. We're definitely getting out of here now.
We're going to end up outside, right? Oh no, it's really high up. I'm worried about our boy Tim.
Anxiety, don't worry. Everything will be fine. Tim is a smart boy. He can handle this obstacle.
Press that darn button, Tim. I'm about to boil over. Who dared to lock us up here? Does someone want our soul?
Tim isn't really gonna jump across those platforms, is he? Well, who am I kidding?
Guys, there's no need to worry. Tim has everything under control. He'll handle it. We just need to believe in him.
I do believe in him, but I'm very, very scared. What if our boy falls? What will happen to him? What if he doesn't make it?
Look how much fun it is here. So many toys. We can play with cars or ride on the big inflatable ship.
Wait, what's that? I see something behind the wardrobe. Oh God, someone is coming out. It's an old woman. She looks really scary.
Look at her. Her clothes are dirty and she looks disgusting. I can't stay here. I'm feeling sick. We need to find an exit quickly.
We're safe. The old woman is gone. I was so nervous, but now I feel like things are a bit better.
It's clear that she couldn't handle us. We managed to find a way out. But remember, if she comes back, be ready.
See, guys, everything's fine. We don't need to panic. Tim is handling it. Now we need to move those boxes so we can reach the ventilation.
I hate vents. It's so cramped and smells terrible. Isn't there another option?
No, Disgust. We don't have any other option but to push through after everything that's happened.
Tim, what are you doing? The vent could be dangerous. What if you get stuck or fall?
Don't worry, Anxiety. Tim looks so brave. Just imagine what an adventure it is to crawl through the vent. It's like in the movies.
Yuck. It's so dusty and dirty. How can you crawl into such a creepy vent? Tim, you should find another way.
Tim, knock down that damn fence. It's blocking our way.
Anger? Why knock it down right away? We can be smarter and not break anything. Tim is a clever boy. He'll find a way out of any situation.
Tim, where have you ended up? This big room looks like a warehouse. It could be dangerous here. What if someone else is around?
Yuck. Everything here is dusty and dirty. This warehouse looks so neglected. I hope Tim doesn't plan to stay here for long.
All right, but let's not forget to be cautious. Places like this often have traps or locked doors. Let's stay vigilant.
Guys, I think it's a great time to tell you a story. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. It all started when we ended up in a class with this teacher. His name was Mr. Grimm, and he was known for giving everyone failing grades and always angrily pointing with his ruler.
When we first arrived in Mr. Grimm's class, I was very worried. The room was gloomy, and all the students looked frightened. Mr. Grimm was stern and irritable, and his ruler seemed so threatening. I was so anxious that this day would be terrible.
From the very beginning, I was furious about how Mr. Grimm treated the students. He was always scolding them and giving failing grades for the slightest mistakes. I wanted to do something to change the situation because his attitude was unfair.
When I saw how Mr. Grimm cruelly and mercilessly treated the children, I felt a deep sense of disgust. It was unpleasant to watch him use his ruler and how his rudeness destroyed the classroom atmosphere.
Despite all this, I decided to try to find a way to change the situation. I noticed that Mr. Grimm was lonely and never smiled. I had an idea. If we could show him how nice it is to be kind, maybe he would change.
I wasn't sure how to do this, but Joy suggested a plan. We decided to start by doing something kind for Mr. Grimm. We prepared small gifts and notes with kind wishes.
I supported the plan but was cautious. I wanted Mr. Grimm to understand how his behavior affected others. We brought him gifts and notes, hoping it would give him a reason to reflect.
At first, I was skeptical. I didn't like the idea of doing something for Mr. Grimm, but I understood that it might help. We carefully left the gifts on his desk and wrote kind words in the notes.
One day, when Mr. Grimm came into the class, he saw the gifts and notes. At first, his face looked surprised, but then, as he read the kind words, he began to change. Gradually, a smile appeared on his face, and he became more friendly.
My anxiety began to diminish when I saw that Mr. Grimm became softer. He started praising students for their efforts and even began using the ruler in more playful games rather than for punishment.
I was amazed by the changes. Mr. Grimm became attentive and understanding. He stopped giving failing grades without reason and started encouraging students for their successes. I was glad that our intervention helped change his attitude.
I couldn't believe that our plan worked, but the results were evident. Mr. Grimm had now become a kind and caring figure, and the classroom turned into a place where students felt comfortable and confident.
Mr. Grimm began spending time with the students, telling them stories and teaching them with a smile. His kindness was so genuine that the class became a place of joy and fun. We were all happy to see how he changed and how he became a beloved figure for his students.
Now I feel I can breathe a sigh of relief. Mr. Grimm has become not only kinder, but also more attentive to his students. It has been a true miracle.
Yes, it was a great change. I am glad that our effort and hard work helped improve the situation. It was a worthwhile endeavor.
Now I am pleased to see that the classroom has become a pleasant place for learning. I am glad that Mr. Grimm changed, and now students no longer have to fear him.
So, joy, anger, anxiety, and disgust helped Mr. Grimm become a kind figure. This story shows that even the most difficult situations can be changed if approached with kindness and understanding.
Did you like it? If so, subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up, and let's move on to the next story.
This story is about how anger, disgust, anxiety, and I helped Tim deal with a situation at school. It all started when Tim began coming home upset. He told us that his classmates were bullying him. This was very hard for him.
I immediately felt how Tim was affected by being bullied. I constantly worried that the situation might get worse. I was concerned that Tim might feel even worse, or even refuse to go to school.
I was outraged that Tim was being bullied. It was unfair, and I couldn't stand that someone was treating him so poorly. I wanted to help Tim, but I didn't know how to do it right without making things worse.
I was appalled to hear about how Tim was being bullied. The bullies were so rude and uncivilized that I had no respect for them. I thought they deserved to be shown that their behavior was unacceptable.
I realized we needed to find a way to help Tim without causing harm to anyone. Together, we decided that the best way to help Tim was to support him in a way that made him feel confident and able to defend himself.
I was scared of the idea that we might do something that could make things even worse. But I understood that Tim needed support, and we needed to find a way to help him feel better and more protected.
I suggested to Tim that he should open up and talk to his teacher or parents about what was happening. It was important for them to know about the problem so they could help. I also advised Tim on how to use his words to make it clear to the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable.
I helped Tim come up with ways to respond to the bullies to show them that their actions were inappropriate. Instead of seeking revenge, we decided to demonstrate that Tim didn't have to tolerate such behavior. He could stand up for his rights with confidence.
Together with anxiety, anger, and disgust, we developed a plan to help Tim. He started to confidently speak to the bullies and show them that while they could hurt him, they couldn't break him. We supported him and taught him how to be assertive without being aggressive.
My worry about Tim gradually lessened as I saw him start to show confidence and resilience. He began to feel better and started believing in his own strength. I was happy to see that he was no longer afraid to openly express his feelings.
I am proud of how Tim handled the situation. He not only defended himself, but also taught the bullies that their behavior was unacceptable. It was fair and right.
I am glad that we helped Tim deal with the bullies without resorting to revenge. His confidence and ability to stand up for himself were the best responses. The bullies now understand that they shouldn't treat people the way they treated Tim.
In the end, Tim felt much better. His confidence grew, and he started enjoying his days at school. We were all happy to see him become stronger and more self-assured. It was a great example of how important it is to have friends' support and a proper approach to solving problems.
Now I feel that everything will be okay. Tim has learned to handle difficult situations and not be afraid of them. This was crucial for his confidence and self-respect.
I am satisfied with how everything turned out. Tim was able to show that he wouldn't let anyone treat him badly. It was well deserved.
I am happy that Tim managed to deal with this unpleasant situation. His confidence and courage were well earned, and he now knows that he deserves respect.
So, with the help of anxiety, anger, disgust, and me, Joy, Tim was able to overcome the difficulties and become more confident. It shows that together we can handle any challenges and help each other become stronger.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, today we're going to play Roblox in the game mode MR Yummy Supermarket. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and give us a like, and also leave a comment about which game mode you'd like to see next. Let's get started.
I have a feeling that Mr. Yummy is not the cleanest person. Just look at this place. There are sauces spilled everywhere. It looks like ketchup and mustard. It smells so bad. It seems like something else has gone bad here too. He really needs to hire a cleaning company to sort this out.
Oh, look at this mess. Just look at the floor. There are puddles everywhere. This place is disgusting. How can anyone work in such a filthy environment? And that Mr. Yummy guy looks so smug, like he doesn't care at all.
I know. It's really unsettling. What if those puddles are something harmful? What if they're dangerous? I'm really worried about Tim. What if he slips and hurts himself? We need to be extra careful here.
Seriously, how can someone be so careless? If he can't even keep a supermarket clean, what else is he neglecting? I'm so angry just thinking about it. We should do something about this.
I just keep thinking about all the potential hazards. What if those puddles are hiding something worse? We need to make sure Tim doesn't get hurt. I'm so anxious just looking at this place.
Well, we have to deal with it. If Mr. Yummy can't clean up his own mess, we might have to find a way to help him. But I'm not going to be happy about it.
Agreed. Let's just focus on keeping Tim safe and getting out of here. I'm too worried about all the dangers in this place to think about anything else right now.
I think these cashiers are unhappy with their work. Some look like they're hungry, others seem exhausted. Mr. Yummy doesn't seem to care about his employees at all and makes them work to the bone. We need to do something about this. Maybe punish him and help the cashiers.
Wow, look at this room. It's like a magical playground for kids. The walls are painted with bright colors, and there are so many toys and games scattered around. It's so cheerful and fun. I bet kids love spending time here.
Ugh, are you serious? Look closer. The toys are all over the place, and some of them look really dirty. There are crumbs and stains on the carpet, and it smells a bit musty. It's not as charming as it seems.
Come on, it's supposed to be a fun space for kids. A little mess is normal. Besides, those toys look like they've had a lot of happy playtime. The room has a lot of potential to be a great place for children.
Maybe, but the filth and disorganization are hard to ignore. I can't help but feel grossed out by the mess and the smell. It's not just a little mess. It's pretty disgusting.
I understand that it might not be perfect, but the overall vibe is still positive. If someone cleaned it up a bit, it would be a fantastic space for kids to play and enjoy themselves.
Well, I suppose you're right about the potential, but it definitely needs a thorough cleaning before it can be truly enjoyable. I just hope someone takes care of it soon.
Exactly. With a bit of tidying up, this could be an amazing room for kids. Let's hope it gets the attention it needs.
Story time! Now we're going to tell you a story about Tim.
Today, we have an exciting story about how Tim saved the population from a zombie apocalypse. Imagine, our brave Tim found himself in the middle of a zombie outbreak and had to figure out how to save everyone. It was quite an adventure.
Oh no, not a zombie apocalypse. I was panicking from the start. What if Tim couldn't find a safe place? What if the zombies were too strong? I kept worrying about him as he tried to find a way out of this terrible situation.
Stop worrying, anxiety. Tim isn't just any guy. He's a real hero. Sure, zombies are dangerous, but if anyone can stop them, it's him. If needed, I'll personally deal with those zombies to help Tim save people.
Ah, zombies are just revolting. Their appearance and smell are horrifying. I was completely grossed out. I hope Tim can handle this without getting too close to such disgusting things.
When Tim started taking action, he first gathered a group of survivors and led them to a safe shelter. He came up with a plan for safe movement and defense. Despite the dangers, he kept a positive attitude and inspired others with his actions.
I couldn't stop worrying as Tim led people through ruined cities and dense forests. Every step was risky, and I feared something would go wrong. He did an incredible job ensuring everyone's safety.
Tim acted quickly and decisively. When zombies tried to breach their shelter, he took up arms and protected the people. I was so proud of him for showing he wasn't afraid to fight to protect those with him. We won't let anyone suffer because of these zombies.
With every encounter with zombies, my discomfort grew. These creatures were truly horrific, but I knew I had to support Tim. Despite my revulsion, I recognized that his bravery and determination were crucial for survival.
In the end, thanks to Tim's bravery and skill, the residents were able to build a new safe place and begin rebuilding. Tim became a real hero, and everyone was grateful for his efforts and courage. We were all so happy that we could help him in this great endeavor. It was a story of true heroism and friendship.
I still can't help but admire how Tim managed through this terrible ordeal. He turned panic and fear into hope and safety. It was a very tough moment, but he did everything right.
See anxiety? Tim handled it despite all the difficulties. He defeated the zombies and protected the people. I'm proud of his resilience and bravery.
Yes, despite the horrible moments and the disgust I felt, I'm glad Tim was able to handle the situation. Now we can hopefully rest easy and hope such horrors won't happen again.
And that's the end of our story, friends. Tim showed that even in the toughest situations, hope and strength can be found for the fight. I hope you enjoyed this story as much as we did.
The next story will be about how Tim went on a round-the-world journey.
We have an exciting story about how Tim embarked on a round-the-world journey. Picture this. Tim decided to travel to every corner of the globe, discovering new cultures, meeting interesting people, and having adventures like never before. It was a journey full of joy and wonder.
Oh, traveling around the world sounds thrilling, but it also makes me anxious. What if Tim gets lost in a foreign country? What if something goes wrong with his plans? There are so many unknowns, and I can't help but worry about his safety and well-being throughout this entire journey.
Enough with the worrying, anxiety. Tim is a brave adventurer. He's going to face challenges head-on and show the world what he's made of. Sure, there might be bumps along the way, but I believe in his strength and determination. If anyone can handle a global journey, it's him.
Traveling can be so grimy and uncomfortable sometimes. All those crowded airports, dirty hotels, and strange foods. Yuck! I'm already feeling grossed out thinking about all the mess and unpleasantness Tim might encounter. But I suppose he has to endure it to experience the world.
Tim's journey began with excitement as he set off from his home. He first explored vibrant cities, tasted delicious street foods, and marveled at historical landmarks. Each new place brought a fresh wave of enthusiasm and happiness. The joy on Tim's face was contagious as he embraced each new experience.
As Tim ventured into remote areas and unfamiliar places, my anxiety grew. What if he encounters dangerous situations or gets sick? Every new destination seemed to come with its own set of risks. I kept hoping that Tim would stay safe and that his journey would go smoothly, despite my worries.
Even though there were obstacles, Tim didn't let them get in his way. He tackled every challenge with determination and grit. When he faced setbacks, he pushed through, demonstrating his resilience. I was ready to punch any problem that came his way, ensuring he could continue his adventure without too much hassle.
Some parts of Tim's journey were truly unpleasant. From enduring long flights with questionable food to dealing with unclean accommodations, it was a test of endurance. I was cringing at some of the less glamorous aspects of his travels. But I had to admit, despite the discomfort, Tim's spirit never wavered.
Eventually, Tim returned home, full of amazing stories and unforgettable experiences. His journey around the world had been an incredible adventure, filled with new friends, breathtaking sights, and personal growth. It was a true celebration of exploration and discovery, and his happiness was evident to everyone around him.
Even though I was anxious throughout Tim's travels, seeing him come back safe and happy was a huge relief. His adventure turned out to be a fantastic experience, and I felt reassured knowing he managed to handle everything so well.
Despite all the bumps along the way, Tim's journey was a success. He conquered challenges and made the most of every opportunity. I'm proud of his bravery and resilience throughout the entire trip.
Some parts of Tim's journey were truly unpleasant. From enduring long flights with questionable food to dealing with unclean accommodations, it was a test of endurance. I was cringing at some of the less glamorous aspects of his travels. But I had to admit, despite the discomfort, Tim's spirit never wavered.
Our stories have come to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and also leave your comments. See you next time, and goodbye. Hello, dear friends. I am Joy, and today we will be playing Roblox in the mode Escape Mr. Funny's Toy Shop.
Hello, I am Anxiety. I heard that this mode is very scary. I hope our boy Tim is not easily frightened and can handle this challenge.
And to help Tim get through this challenge, let's all support him together. To help him, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your support for Tim. It really helps him a lot.
It seems to me that I heard some laughter. Tim, go check it out. I think that sound came from the other corridor.
Yes, I also heard a very strange and frightening noise. Tim, be careful.
Whoa, what happened here? Everything is turned over and knocked down. I think this is not a very good sign.
Don't worry so much, Anxiety. Our Tim has already overcome many challenges and obstacles. I'm sure he will manage this one too.
These pipes look quite dangerous. They are small and easy to fall off. Just don't look down and it won't be so scary.
I see a lever over there. I think it needs to be pulled down to open the passage forward.
What if the lever is a trap? Tim, be careful!
It wasn't a trap after all, Disgust. Some platforms have risen. I think we need to jump across them to proceed.
I think danger awaits us after the stairs. I am very scared. I believe we'll encounter the one who caused the chaos in the main room. Wait, why did the gates close behind us and the lights go out? This is a very, very bad sign.
Don't worry, Anxiety. If something goes wrong and Tim struggles, I'll roast him on the biggest bonfire you've ever seen. Tim won't be left in trouble.
Ah! Someone very frightening is chasing us. It's definitely the one who caused the chaos in the main room. Just look at his walk. His legs are wobbling. It seems he was never taught to walk properly as a child and was bullied, which is why he became so angry.
Despite his awkward walk, he's very fast, but Tim has always been quicker than the rest. I believe he'll manage to escape this time too.
Tim, stop and hit him in the legs. I think that will make him fall, and you'll be able to run further away from him.
Tim, don't listen to him. If you stop, he'll definitely do something to you. Keep running as fast as you can.
Maybe he wants to be friends?
Of course not, Joy. Just look at him. If he wanted to be friends, he wouldn't be chasing us with such a scary face. Plus, he could have told us he wanted to be friends. Yuck. He's so disgusting.
These bars are not very reassuring. Look ahead. The mesh has fallen off completely.
Tim has managed to get past the bars, but listen carefully. There are some familiar sounds ahead.
Those are the sounds of the game Red Light, Green Light. I've seen it somewhere before, but I forgot the exact details. However, I remember the rules. You need to move when it's green light and stay still when it's red light. If you move during red light, something very bad will happen to you.
Tim is almost through this game, which means it's time for us to tell stories. Now, let's tell the story of how Tim went fishing for the first time. Once upon a time, Tim decided to go fishing for the first time. It was a bright, sunny day, perfect for an adventure. Tim had always been curious about fishing, so we, his inner voices, were excited to help him make the most of this experience. As Tim arrived at the lake, his eyes sparkled with anticipation. He set up his fishing rod with a sense of wonder, and I, Joy, couldn't help but cheer him on. "Look at him go!" I exclaimed. "He's doing great so far. This is going to be so much fun. Just imagine all the joy and excitement when he catches his first fish."
But as Tim prepared to cast his line, anxiety crept in. Oh no, what if he doesn't catch anything? What if the fish aren't biting? What if he gets bored or frustrated? What if something goes wrong with the fishing gear? I worried, watching Tim with concern. He might face some challenges, and I hope—
Anger, wasn't too pleased with the situation either. Why does fishing have to be so complicated? I grumbled. Why can't things just be easy? Why does Tim have to deal with tangled lines and slippery fish? It's so annoying when things don't go perfectly. But even though I was frustrated, I knew it was important to support Tim through the challenges. He has to learn to deal with these obstacles, I said. but it's definitely not fair that it's so difficult.
Disgusted by the messiness of fishing, I looked at the bait with distaste. Ugh, look at that slimy worm. Why does fishing have to involve such gross things? The smell and the texture are just awful, I complained. But Tim is trying his best despite the unpleasant aspects. We need to support him through this, even if it's really disgusting. Even though the fishing experience was quite disgusting, seeing Tim's happiness made it a bit more bearable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy. Maybe the next time won't be so gross. We just need to get through the icky parts to enjoy the success. In the end, it was a memorable day for Tim, filled with challenges and triumphs. And despite all our different feelings, we were all proud of how he handled his first fishing adventure.
I had to admit, seeing Tim catch the fish made me a bit less frustrated. All right, I guess he handled the complications well. Even though it was annoying at times, he managed to overcome the challenges. Maybe fishing isn't so bad after all.
Even though Tim succeeded, I still had some lingering worries. I hope he's careful with the fish and the equipment, and I hope he doesn't get too disheartened if things don't go as smoothly next time. But he did really well today, and that's what matters.
Despite the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim kept trying. And guess what? He finally felt a tug on his line. His face lit up with pure joy as he reeled in his very first fish. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. All our support and patience paid off. Tim has caught his first fish, and it's a moment he'll always remember with a big smile. Before we start the next story, I'd like to ask you to subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss Tim's new adventures.
The story will be about how Tim learned to make wooden crafts.
Once upon a time, Tim decided he wanted to learn how to make wooden crafts. It was an exciting new adventure for him, and I, Joy, was thrilled to be part of it. The day started with Tim eagerly gathering his materials, wood, tools, and paint. "Look at him go," I cheered. "He's so enthusiastic and ready to create something amazing. This is going to be a fun and rewarding experience for him." Tim carefully followed the instructions for his first project, a small wooden birdhouse. As he measured, cut, and assembled the pieces, I couldn't help but feel delighted. He's doing such a great job. Just imagine how happy he'll be when he finishes his first craft. This is a fantastic way for him to express his creativity and skill.
But as Tim continued his project, anxiety began to worry. What if he makes a mistake with the measurements? What if the pieces don't fit together properly? What if he gets frustrated when things don't go as planned? I fretted, watching Tim with concern. There's so much that can go wrong with woodworking. I hope he stays patient and doesn't get too discouraged if things don't turn out perfectly.
Anger was getting frustrated with some of the challenges Tim faced. "Why does it have to be so complicated?" I grumbled. "The tools are difficult to handle, and the instructions are confusing. It's so annoying when things don't work out easily." Despite my frustration, I knew it was important to support Tim through these obstacles. "He has to learn to deal with these challenges," I said. "But it's definitely not fair that it's so hard."
Disgusted by the messiness of the project, I grimaced as Tim worked. Ugh, look at all the sawdust and the sticky glue. Why does woodworking have to be so messy and unpleasant? The smell of the paint and the texture of the wood are just gross, I complained. But even though it's really unpleasant, Tim is putting in a lot of effort. We need to support him through this, even if it's quite disgusting.
Despite the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim persevered. His dedication paid off as he completed his first wooden birdhouse. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. "He's finished his craft, and it looks fantastic." All our support and encouragement helped him get through the challenges. He's so proud of his work, and it's such a joy to see his hard work come to fruition.
Even though Tim succeeded, I still had some lingering concerns. I hope he's careful with the tools in the future and doesn't get discouraged by any mistakes he might make. Woodworking can be tricky, but he did really well today. I'm relieved he managed to finish his project successfully.
I had to admit, seeing Tim complete his birdhouse made me feel a bit less frustrated. All right, maybe it wasn't as easy as it seemed, and he handled the difficulties well. Even though it was annoying at times, he managed to overcome the challenges. Maybe woodworking isn't so bad after all.
Even though the woodworking project was quite messy and unpleasant, seeing Tim's satisfaction made it more tolerable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy with his work. Maybe the next project won't be so gross. We just need to get through the messy parts to enjoy the success. In the end, Tim's experience with woodworking was a memorable one, filled with challenges and achievements. Despite all our different feelings, we were all proud of how he learned and succeeded in his new craft.
And so the stories come to an end. Tim has defeated the main boss and is nearing the end of the level. I believe that thanks to Tim's hard work, he's breezing through these stages. If you put in a little effort, like the video, and subscribe to the channel, it will make Tim very happy. Goodbye, everyone. Hello, everyone. I am Joy, and we have entered a very scary mode that our subscribers recommended. We are in a pizzeria, but it seems to me that no pizza was ever made here. It's very creepy. All the tables and chairs are overturned.
Oh no, where have we ended up? Joy, what is this? It's very bad and scary here. Subscribe and like so we can get out of here.
We will crush this Papa Pizza. Lava is about to come out of me, and his pizzeria will completely burn down. Damn it! Why is this elevator taking so long? I'm going to open these doors right now.
My God, what are these saws? Why are there saws in a pizzeria? Are we really going to be okay? Will we get out of here?
Ew! What kind of disgusting stuff is coming out of these rusty pipes? I hope this is food? Subscribers, can you leave your opinion in the comments? Is this food or something else? It smells terrible. We need to get out of here quickly.
What cute traps! We won't get caught in them, right? Why is he jumping? I'm really scared for our boy Tim.
Traps! Tim passed them without looking. But what next? Where the heck is the light? I'm about to burst into flames. Who turned off the light?
Oh no! Someone is chasing us! We need to run! Faster! He must escape from this scary man! Come on, Tim!
Phew. Okay, it seems we got away, but anxiety. Why do you think that chef wanted something bad? Maybe he wanted to treat us to something. What do you think?
Treat us? Maybe with stinky socks. Ew, that's really gross and awful. Tim did the right thing by running away, but now we're in some kind of sewer. Ew, it smells horrible here. Probably where all the stinkies from the whole town live.
This pipe is very small. I hope Tim doesn't fall right into that lava. He needs to carefully and slowly make his way to the end, and then maybe we can get out of here.
Enough already! Why are we still here? I'm gonna smash everything around me right now if this ladder isn't the way out. Oh my God! What our hell? Joy, what are we doing in the bathroom? Ah!
Anger? Calm down. Everything is fine. Tim will leave this room soon and everything will be okay. Don't be angry. It's just a small room.
What's happening here? Cobwebs? We're scared of spiders. They're big, scary, and gross. Look, they're everywhere. One on the wall, another really close. I hope Tim handles this challenge. Just don't look at spiders.
Oh man, what a grossness. Oh no, where are we now? Where did we stumble into? It's cold and there are rats running around. Maybe we'll meet some ninja turtles.
I want to tell you a story about how, a few years ago, my friend Anxiety and I were the emotions of a scientist. It was an exciting time, full of unexpected twists. Our scientist was known for his anger and gloominess. His name was Dr. Grimm. He was brilliant, but his heart was filled with anger and distrust towards the world.
I admit I was always afraid of Dr. Grimm. He could be scary, especially when his experiments didn't go as planned. Every morning I woke up with a sense of unease about what the day would bring. But one day, everything changed. We realized we had to help Dr. Grimm become a better person.
I always believed that there is goodness in every person, and Dr. Grimm was no exception. Our plan began with small changes. I tried to evoke bright childhood memories in him, times when he was happy and carefree. At first, it wasn't easy. Dr. Grimm resisted, pushing away the happy thoughts. But over time, I began to notice small changes in his behavior.
My role in this process was important too. I helped Dr. Grimm become aware of his fears and anxieties. He was afraid that his work would be misunderstood and rejected. We started working on helping him learn to accept his emotions and not let them control him. It was a long journey, full of setbacks and doubts, but gradually, Dr. Grimm began to open up.
One day, when Dr. Grimm was working on a new invention, he suddenly laughed. It was a miracle! We knew he was on the path to change. His anger started to dissipate, and instead, a spark of hope and curiosity appeared. He became more kind and attentive to the people around him.
Every day, I saw Dr. Grimm becoming calmer and more confident in himself. He began to share his ideas with colleagues, seeking their opinions and advice. His inventions started to benefit people, and he saw that his work could bring joy and help others.
And so, after a few years, we saw a true transformation. Dr. Grimm became a kind and responsive person. He was no longer immersed in anger and hatred. We managed to help him see the world from a different perspective, and this became our greatest achievement.
Now, when I look at Dr. Grimm, I no longer feel fear. Instead, I feel pride that we were able to help him change his life. It was a difficult but incredibly important mission.
And so our story ended. We proved that even in the darkest heart, light can be found. The main thing is to believe and never give up.
Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And now let's move on to the next story. Usually, I'm involved in the most tense and conflict-ridden situations. But this time, it was different. A few years ago, we were helping our boy, Tim. At school, he liked a girl named Lena, and he didn't know how to get her attention. Yeah, it sounds strange that anger, was involved in this. But trust me, it was an incredible story.
Oh, Tim was so indecisive and clumsy when it came to Lena. He needed help not only with his emotions, but also with his hygiene and style. Tim often looked unkempt, and that could scare Lena away. I immediately knew I had to step in to guide him in the right direction.
At first, Tim was just angry at himself. He was mad that he couldn't muster the courage to approach Lena. He often grumbled and lashed out at his friends. I helped him channel that anger on the sports field. Tim and I ran, played soccer, and engaged in various active sports. This helped him deal with the tension and become more confident.
My task was a bit different. I helped Tim understand that he needed to take care of his appearance. We started small. I taught him to shower regularly, keep his clothes clean, and use deodorant. It was important for him to look well-groomed. Then we worked on his style. Tim began wearing more stylish and neat clothes that suited him and highlighted his individuality.
Once Tim became more confident, we started working on his communication skills. I taught him to stand up for himself and speak clearly and confidently. We practiced different scenarios for talking to Lena so he wouldn't be lost when meeting her. Sometimes I had to direct his anger towards something productive so he could express his emotions with words rather than aggression.
At the same time, I helped him avoid situations that could cause Lena to feel disgusted. We worked on his manners and behavior. Tim learned to listen, be attentive, and caring. I reminded him that the little things matter, like not picking his nose, not chewing with his mouth open, and being polite.
The day came when Tim finally decided to approach Lena. He was a bit nervous, but I directed his energy in a positive way. He approached her with a smile and confidently started a conversation. We all watched this moment, and it was incredibly exciting. Lena smiled back, and they started talking.
Tim did everything right. He was polite, well-groomed, and confident. Lena noticed his changes and began to show interest. Over time, they started spending more time together, getting to know each other better. Anger and I were proud of Tim because he managed to overcome his fears and insecurities.
Guys, do you want another story? Then hit the like button and subscribe. This happened on a sunny day when Tim decided to ride his new scooter. He loved riding it and was in a great mood. Everything was going perfectly until...
He lost his balance and fell. Tim was going too fast, and suddenly the scooter jerked, and he fell right to the ground. I immediately felt Tim's anger towards the scooter, the road, and himself. He screamed in pain and anger.
Oh no, when Tim fell, he hurt his leg badly. He had a big scrape, and it was bleeding. I immediately felt disgusted by the sight of the blood and dirt on his leg. It was hard to look at, but I knew we had to help.
I immediately worried about Tim. What if the wound was serious? What if it got worse? I was scared for him. I suggested that he needed to get help quickly.
But it wasn't all bad. Tim's friends were nearby and they rushed to help him. One of them ran to get an adult, while another brought a first aid kit. Tim was scared and angry, but he realized that his friends were there to help him.
Yes, Tim was still angry, but his anger began to fade when he saw his friends trying to help him. He realized that anger wouldn't help in this situation. Something needed to be done.
The friends carefully cleaned the wound despite my disgust. They used clean water and wipes to remove the dirt and blood. Tim was in pain, but he tried to endure it.
Then an adult arrived and helped Tim. They put a bandage on the wound and reassured Tim, saying everything would be all right. I felt a bit better knowing someone who knew what to do was there.
Once the wound was treated, Tim felt relieved. He thanked his friends for their help and realized how important it was to have such caring friends. Tim smiled, and I felt joy again. Even you can find something good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Bye-bye. Hello, dear friends. Today, we are going to escape from the Pomni prison. But before we start, let's all give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. This will help our boy Tim to complete challenges more often so that videos can come out more frequently. Let's get started with the escape.
Yes, let's get started.
I heard that Pomni can be beautiful, but you should never fall for this provocation. It's a trap. That's how she lures people in and then locks them in a cage. Therefore, you must always remember that she is very evil and bad. Remember, you can never judge someone as good just because of their appearance. Inside, that person could be very bad and betray you at any moment.
Yes, I agree with Anger. You can never put your hopes on someone just because of their beauty.
I think you need to break that grate with the key on the wall. Take this key and break the grate so we can move forward.
Wow, everything here is so colorful, but I don't like it at all. She probably lures people in not only with her beauty, but also with the brightness and vividness of her rooms. But we mustn't pay attention to that either. Otherwise, we'll end up behind bars again and have to escape all over.
She runs much faster than the usual guards. Although it's strange because men are usually faster and more enduring, but apparently not this time. I think she runs day and night to catch her captives. Otherwise, she wouldn't catch anyone.
Yes, she is fast. But our boy Tim is much faster than her. She will never catch him, even if she trained every day to run faster than she currently can. That's because Tim is naturally strong, fast, and enduring. This helps him escape from all kinds of troubles.
I really dislike the brightness of her rooms. It's blinding and irritating to my eyes. I feel like if we don't get out of here soon, we might go blind from all this bright color.
Wow, we've descended into some kind of cave or underground tunnel. Perhaps it was dug by previous escapees from this prison. Despite being underground, it's still very bright here. It looks like colorful and vivid crystals have grown everywhere. The bright light reminds me of fireworks that are set off during various celebrations, such as New Year's, birthdays, and so on.
There are some platforms here. I think we need to jump across them to move forward. Tim, be careful when you're jumping. One wrong move, and you'll fall straight into the lava.
Let's not distract Tim and let him complete this level, so we'll tell the story of how Tim learned to ride a bicycle. One day, Tim decided he wanted to learn how to ride a bike. It was a warm, sunny day, perfect for a new adventure. I, Joy, couldn't wait to help Tim tackle this challenge. Tim took his new bike and went to the empty street near his house. What an exciting moment, I exclaimed. Tim is about to do something new and thrilling. I'm sure he'll have a great time. At first, Tim was a little nervous, but I encouraged him. You can do it, Tim. It's going to be fun and amazing. You'll feel the wind in your hair and the freedom of movement. He put on his helmet and grabbed the handlebars with determination. We were all supporting him.
As Tim began trying to balance, anxiety started to worry. Oh no, what if he falls? What if he gets hurt? What if he can't learn to ride and gets upset? I fretted, watching his every move. Biking can be dangerous. I hope he's careful and doesn't get into trouble.
I, Anger, was irritated by all the difficulties Tim faced. Why does riding a bike have to be so hard? I grumbled. Why can't he just learn immediately? It's so frustrating when things don't go smoothly. But despite my frustration, I knew it was important to support Tim. He has to deal with these challenges to get better, I said. But it's definitely annoying when he falls and makes mistakes.
Disgust watched the process with thinly veiled disdain. Ew, look at those dirty knees and elbows from falling. Why does biking have to be so messy and unpleasant? The sweat and dirt are awful, I complained. But Tim isn't giving up despite all the unpleasant moments. We need to support him, even if it's really gross.
Despite all the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim kept practicing diligently. His efforts paid off, and one day he finally managed to ride without falling. "Look at that! He did it!" I cheered. "He learned to ride a bike." All our support and encouragement helped him get through the challenges. He's so proud of himself, and it's such a joy to see his success.
Although Tim succeeded, I still worried a bit. I hope he's careful on the road and always wears his helmet. Biking can be dangerous, but he did great today. I'm glad he learned to ride, but I'll keep worrying about his safety.
I had to admit that seeing Tim finally riding without falling made me a little less irritated. All right, maybe it wasn't as easy as it seemed, and he handled the challenges well. Despite the frustrations, he overcame all the obstacles. Maybe biking isn't so bad after all.
Even though the process of learning to ride a bike was messy and unpleasant, seeing Tim's satisfaction made it more tolerable. I suppose it's worth it if he's happy. Maybe next time won't be so gross. We just have to get through the unpleasant moments to enjoy the success. In the end, Tim's experience learning to ride a bike was memorable, filled with challenges and achievements. Despite all our different feelings, we were all proud of how he learned and succeeded in his new skill.
Before we start the next story, we'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel and give us a like. The next story will be about Tim's first experience at a concert of his favorite band.
The day Tim had been waiting for had finally arrived. His first concert of his favorite band. Joy, was absolutely thrilled for him. Tim had been counting down the days and preparing for this moment for weeks. When the big day came, he wore his favorite band t-shirt, packed his tickets, and headed to the venue with a huge smile on his face. "This is going to be amazing," I cheered. Tim is about to experience something he's dreamed about for so long. The music, the atmosphere, the excitement. It's going to be unforgettable. As Tim walked into the venue, I felt an overwhelming sense of happiness. Look at him. He's so excited and ready for this experience. It's going to be one of the best nights of his life.
But as Tim got closer to the venue, anxiety started to creep in. What if he loses his tickets? What if there's a problem with the entrance? What if the concert is sold out and he can't get in? I worried, watching him with concern. There are so many things that could go wrong. I hope everything goes smoothly for him. Inside the venue, I continued to fret. The crowd looks huge. What if Tim gets lost or overwhelmed by all the people? What if he has trouble finding his seat? Anxiety was on high alert, hoping that Tim would stay calm and enjoy the concert despite any potential issues.
Anger was feeling frustrated by some of the challenges Tim faced. "Why is it so crowded? Why are people pushing and shoving? This is so annoying," I grumbled. "It's so irritating when people don't respect personal space. Why can't everyone just be considerate and let Tim enjoy the concert?" As the concert started, I became even more irritated. "The noise is so loud. Why does it have to be this overwhelming? It's just not fair to Tim that the sound is so intense and the crowd is so chaotic."
Disgust had its own issues with the concert experience. Ah, look at all the spilled drinks and trash on the floor. Why does it have to be so messy? The sticky floors and the smell of sweat are just gross, I complained. And the smell of food mixed with all the sweat is really unpleasant. Despite the mess, Disgust acknowledged that Tim was having a good time. Even though it's disgusting here, I suppose it's worth it if Tim is enjoying the concert. It's just something we have to deal with in these kinds of situations.
Despite all the worries, frustrations, and unpleasantness, Tim was having an incredible time. The band came on stage, and the music was just as amazing as he had hoped. Look at him. He's so happy, singing along and enjoying every moment. This is exactly what he dreamed of, and it's such a joy to see him so thrilled. Tim's excitement was contagious, and even though there were some challenges, the overall experience was fantastic. He's living his dream right now. This night will be a cherished memory for him for years to come.
Even as the concert went on, I was still a bit anxious. I hope Tim stays safe and has a good time. The crowd can be overwhelming, but he seems to be handling it well. I'm relieved that he's enjoying himself despite the challenges.
As the concert went on, I had to admit that the frustration of the crowd and the noise seemed less significant. Okay, maybe it wasn't perfect, and there were some annoying moments, but Tim is really enjoying himself. I suppose the experience is worth the inconvenience.
Even though the venue was messy and unpleasant, seeing Tim's joy made it more bearable. It's still gross here, but if Tim is happy, that's what matters. We just have to get through the unpleasant aspects to enjoy the success of his experience. In the end, Tim's first concert experience was memorable, filled with excitement and challenges. Despite all our different feelings, we were all happy to see how much he enjoyed his favorite band's performance.
Well, the game is coming to an end, and Tim has defeated the final boss. I think he's learned that sometimes appearances can be deceiving and can lead to very bad consequences. It's important to always stay vigilant and cautious to avoid trouble. I hope you've already liked the video and subscribed to the channel. Well, I'm signing off now. Goodbye, everyone.